Oh God. Hey guys, how you doing? This is me, Hank. I'm here to watch old, obscure, and art house films so that you don't have to. And today, oh boy, we're here today to watch Solaris, the 1972 film by Andrei Tarkovsky. Tarkovsky, the favorite subject of the internet film critic. I've only seen one full Tarkovsky film my entire life. That was Nostalgia. It was fine. I've seen about half of Ivan's childhood. Tarkovsky is one of those difficult filmmakers where I can't even say whether or not I like or dislike his movies, but the discourse around the director online is it's just falling down a rabbit hole, really. You're like, ooh, I like Martin Scorsese, I like Quentin Tarantino, I like Stanley Kubrick. And the more in the sauce you get, the more expansive your taste has to be, deeper and more obscure, so that you're like, oh, I like Lars von Trier, but like, no, I really like Ozu. No, I like Ozon. My favorite is Uzo, but actually, Le Diable Probablement. We're just gonna do it. We're gonna watch this. Let's just be legendary and do it. I can hack this. I like Bressonian films. I could do serious commentary. I'm gonna furrow my brow, and it's literally still going. And that's beautiful.
Oh, hey, how are you, Corge?
Highly poetic landscapes. There's a lot of kind of like false equivalencies. Internet film critics or film historians they like discussing the cinematography of Tarkovsky as a means of disparaging others. The comparison video I think of, there's one out there like directly comparing cinematography of Tarkovsky to Kubrick, and it's a little bit of bullshit, honestly, to like say like, oh, this clip from Mirror is highly superior to this one from Barry Lyndon. Look how structural Kubrick is, whereas Tarkovsky is hyper philosophical, not so intellectualized, and all of images are canvases breathing life and art into the human spirit. And I'm kind of like, I don't know. I think you're just stating a preference, to be honest. Got some daytime rainfall. I love that. It's really just gonna leave all his food out in the rain, I guess. That tablecloth is ruined. That tea is diluted. His jacket is soaked through.
А ты разве не останешься?
А это видел уже много раз.
На 21-й день высадки нашей экспедиции ради биолог Вишняков и физик Феоксар проводили...
That guy looks like a UFC referee, Big John McCarthy.
Когда через 16 часов они не вернулись, мы вынуждены были объявить тревогу. Туман сгустился, и мы были вынуждены прекратить поиски. На станции вернулись все спасательные аппараты. Не было только грузового вертолета. Он был в состоянии нервного шока. Вы понимаете, что для мужчины, у которого за плечами 11 лет космических полетов, порой в тяжелейших условиях, это было поразительно. Через 2 дня он поправился, но больше ни разу не выходил из космолета и старался не подходить к окну, из которого был виден океан.
Это был самый обыкновенный туман?
Конечно, нет. Это не был обычный туман.
Mist fog.
Как бы взвесь, по-моему, коллоидная и очень липкая.
It's gonna meet Thomas Jane in there.
Из-за сопротивления, которое оказывал этот туман, у меня упали обороты, и я начал терять высоту.
Okay, we have another element reflecting like a sinister or anti-human water element here. The fog seems to be resistant to human penetration.
Я заметил в состоянии океана.
Yeah, it's the ocean here
Совсем
too.
исчезли. Тумана. Мне некоторое время пришлось бороться.
I do love these kind of hypnotic journeys into darkness, the heart of darkness. People would obviously think of Apocalypse Now. I actually think that Annihilation is a great kind of descent into heart of darkness or madness kind of narrative. Annihilation definitely true from.
Вашу пленку.
Очень интересно.
Oh no, is nothing happening? Was this all like an illusion in his mind?
Это все?
So it was nothing.
Это весь ваш фильм?
Да, это все.
The doubters,
Но мы ничего
the
не поняли.
disbelievers.
Вы сняли облака. Мне показалось, что это комбинезон Фехнера. Тем более, что формой он напоминал человека. Я развернул машину, я боялся пролететь это место и потерять...
Okay, I can really see where Annihilation might have drawn inspiration from
Фигура
this.
слегка
And
приподнялась,
I do like the idea that
как будто она плыла и
a frightening
стояла по
element
пояс в волне.
to, and this is like a weird kind of subconscious thing
Этот
in these
человек,
sci-fi narratives.
он был без комбинезона и двигался.
A disturbing element
Человек?
of the alien
Yeah.
or the unknown is anthropomorphism.
Одну минуту.
It's really
Что?
subtly
Переводится?
important
Да.
that these alien life forms take a human form in order for us to be scared of them. It really wouldn't like boggle the mind to have alien life that was like fish-like or just like a bear or some shit. Or it's like really important to a certain degree that these alien forms represent a doppelganger. I don't know why that's specifically a threat. You can argue some sort of like Jungian mother or something like that, but or that we're gonna be like replaceable by some other intelligent entity. The aliens are made scary by crossing over an uncanny valley of having enough traits that are similar to us. And I mean, actually, the aliens in Mars Attacks are like legitimately frightening. I don't know why I decided to repeatedly re-traumatize myself in childhood watching Tim Burton films, but I think Mars Attacks was definitely the end of the yellow brick road in terms of my relationship with that director. At that point, I noped the fuck out of there.
Эй, где вы все? Здесь гости, прием.
Man, why can't people just keep a good station going? All these space stations have to be like completely ruined. It's like, just have some upkeep. This is why you don't entrust a space station to scientists, let alone just 3 scientists, because they're not going to keep up on their housework.
Eins, zwei, drei, vier, fünf, sechs, sieben, acht, neun und 10.
Snout? Я Кельвин, психолог.
I didn't mention this before in the previous scene, but the
Где Сарторий?
collar sizes for this time
У себя.
are huge.
Говорят, умер. Как умер?
Время находился в состоянии глубокой депрессии. С тех пор, как у нас начались эти беспорядки.
Are we gonna get killer monkeys like in Ad Astra? I don't really get why those killer monkeys were in Ad Astra, to be honest. I'm willing to forgive a movie a lot of interesting choices in election for a really great atmosphere and tone. But break down Ad Astra into little pieces and you'll
Вы
wonder,
так же, как и меня, знаете по
what's the need for
фотографии.
killer monkeys?
Если увидите нечто
They
необычное,
might be apes.
ни меня, ни Сарториуса, старайтесь, держите себя в руках.
Что увижу?
Не знаю, в некотором смысле это зависит от вас.
And what the fuck is with his fishnet shirt? He's a lot more adventurous than I would be in his shoes. Notice his bulge. Whoa. It's just those pants are getting straight to the point. Huh? We love a sweaty king. I wasn't anticipating this movie to be as sweaty as it is. I actually relate to it a lot more now. Wouldn't it be amazing if this just turned out to be like a super serious horror movie and I was just shocked out of my brains? Кекбусахуи.
Привет, Крис. У меня есть еще немного времени. Я должен кое-что тебе рассказать. Склоняюсь к предложению Сарториуса подвергнуть плазму океана жесткому рентгеновскому облучению. Я знаю, это запрещено. Но другого выхода нет. Мы только завязнем.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer? Every night, I can feel my leg, and my arm, even my fingers.
I feel like this breaks all sorts of like entry protocol. I still can't get over this man's pants. It's just straps on straps on straps on straps. That and his fishnet shirt. I mean, this is a kink movie. This is a movie about a man learning about the heart of darkness of his rough BDSM play.
Не там ищите истину. Вот.
Okay.
Ваша поза нелепа. Ваша так называемая
Whatever,
мужество
man.
бесчеловечно. Слышите вы?
What is going on?
Уходите.
What up the exposure? Or it's not exposure. What up the brightness? Is this daytime? Dude, this station is so disorienting. Yo, man, don't look straight into the water. It'll fuck you I will say, Tarkovsky has a very
Это все бессмысленно.
interesting idea of what lights off looks like.
Ведь они думают, что я сошел с ума.
Get out of here, Ghost. I'm trying to talk to my friend.
Видишь ли, Крис, как все это не дико?
I would never, ever sleep in that bed. That looks like the worst thing in the world! Look how thin that mattress is. I'm dying. We're just getting a shot going right up his crotch. Just all the way up his crotch. It's I could just see his perineum. I do like her sweater though. I'm kind of just like sweater aesthetic. Ooh, it's not even a sweater. It's a full-on cape. Oh, those feet.
Не надо, щекотно.
Нет. Там нет.
Apollinaire. Oh.
Кто это? Крис. Это я.
Я сейчас уйду ненадолго. Ты подожди меня, ладно?
Я с тобой.
Get some cigarettes.
Нет, Харри, я скоро приду.
It's just a pack. Just at the corner store.
Я не знаю. Я не могу.
Что ты не можешь?
Кажется, я должна тебя. Все время.
Oh, that's very much me. I just feel
Я
like
веду себя как дура.
if you don't respond to my texts within 5 minutes, like you obviously hate me. We've arrived at the Flash Gordon segment of the film.
Открыть люк. Ну как?
Все в порядке, удобно?
Да, иди скорее, Крит.
I'll come with you. Just let me close this door. And meow, that's right. Looks like Team Rocket's blasting off again. This is what happens when you think with your rocket. Those pants have fucking straps too.
Не понимаю. Очевидно, океан ответил на жесткое излучение каким-нибудь другим, прозондировал им наши мозги и извлек из них что-то вроде островков.
In a way, you could say that this is a narrative forebear to Inside Out. Why is this movie so much scarier than I thought it would be?
Где?
Иди сюда.
Dude, man, this is why we gotta get over relationships. Otherwise, they'll just keep coming back with their fucking wool capes. I'm freaking out right now. Just don't ever invite an ex back into your bed. It will never work out the way you want it to. And it's not even like a threat of harm that she's presenting. It's the emotional regression that he's going through that is the scariest element of this. Going backwards like this is like truly terrifying, because you'll find yourself in an endless feedback loop just trying to relive elements of your past self and arrive at the same conclusion. You can't escape where you are now, so you cheat back again and you find yourself just wearing a fishnet shirt for the rest of your life. My dude, you need to get over this shit right now. My dude, put those things away. It's just doubling on itself. Oh, that's creepy. Oh my god. It just keeps replicating. Also, the idea of doppelgangers, like, it really freaks me out. It kind of ties into oof.
Oh yeah, here comes Kool-Aid.
She's not real, man. I like wonder if Tarkovsky has had any family members. Me needlessly psychologizing, but I wonder if he's like had any family members that have had like chronic illness or something where he's made to feel like he's had an experience in his life where he's made to feel like he needs to be a caretaker constantly, and it's this thing that he has a wild like sense of obligation to, but deep down he really wants to escape. This is just not. This is not a good thing. Please don't do this.
Мы вас ждали.
Это моя жена.
Because the need is that great.
Замечательно. Прекрасно.
This is
Тогда
just like
проделайте анализ крови
a
вашей
much
жены.
scarier version of it.
А это вас несколько отрезвит.
I'm like completely freaked out right now. I cannot deal with this. This is causing me so much anxiety. She is a construct. She is born out of your need, and therefore you cannot escape her because you cannot transcend your own needs. But she is... I don't want to like infer that she's here to destroy you, but your need for her is what will destroy you.
Интересно, как вот?
Если я когда-нибудь поймаю вас за этим занятием...
Вам повезло.
Oh my dude. You're a
Ваши страсти
psychologist.
бессмысленны, но вы вступили с ними в
I don't know if
эмоциональный
psychologists
контакт.
have to take like the
Может,
Hippocratic
это
Oath,
приятно,
but
но
you're here to
Нет, вы не зависите.
serve a humanitarian benefit to these people. You are not here for your own selfish
Будем носить за
desires.
вами подкладное судно.
I think to a certain degree that's like what is like scaring me or what is unnerving me so much about this film, that it's such an intense display of selfishness for very like justifiable reasons. He lost his wife, but seeing that display of selfishness in such bleak terms with like absolutely no like There's no good or utility served in him meeting this need, and it's just so stark, and it's really genuinely a bummer to see this degree of like malignant human need displayed.
Look, I like stuff. I like shiny things.
In some ways, this is like. In some ways, this is better than Bresson. I love Bresson as a filmmaker. He's this French filmmaker. He makes a lot of movies about like he's this great French filmmaker who like his subject is really like kind of like the rot of humanity, and to be biased or like use confirmation bias for a second, he exists in this canon of like the great filmmakers who have like some deeply ingrained religion in them, like and there's Bresson, and then there's Tarkovsky and John Ford, and I guess contemporarily in contemporary times we'd say like Scorsese, people who like genuinely explore their own existential anguish in relation to their own religion. It's a really powerful bouncing off point, because your religion is this like ideal conception you have for the world, and living in it is so diametrically opposed to the ideal that the more you kind of exist in the world, the more you find dysfunction and cognitive dissonance with your beliefs, and it creates for really incredibly anguished and confused, genuinely confused and remorseful and regretful and suspicious and wailing artists. That's what I think of when I think of Bresson. I think he like wails. His films are genuinely like a cry at the depths of human depravity, and for the most part, with some, not for the most part, in some examples, I think it's too direct a line. I guess the two examples I would think of are Mouchette and Oazal Balthazar, like two movies that are about like how just like bad things keep happening to people until they lose faith, and that loss of faith is the greatest sin they can commit. And it's also like the greatest point of our sympathy towards them. We see these people like fall to the lowest of the low and commit cardinal sin against themselves, and it's an interesting dynamic that is when they are most deserving of our pity, when they create the greatest trespass. But it's a really straight line. It's a descent, and I don't know, in a weird, stupid sci-fi fantasy way, it's really engaging to see Tarkovsky in like investigate real terrifying human behaviors through strictly hypothetical scenarios. Like this isn't a movie about a man whose conditions like it's not like Les Miserables, where he needs to steal bread for his family, and that results in him being imprisoned, and that results in him having a turn of faith where he will endure the hardships of life. Like it's not like a straight path between heaven and hell. In this, like we explore the darker dimensions of people through their better qualities. It's a good thing that this man cares about his wife. It's like something that imparts that ennobles his spirit, and yet seeing it manipulated and seeing it tested and prodded and darkly explored under these specific conditions, it metastasizes. It becomes a cancer. It's an obsession. It's overwhelming. Like this is a kind of like a deep exploration of darker human actions that are born from better human beliefs that I think is like really striking and really interesting. I think like you could argue this is the sort of stuff that like Hitchcock investigates, or like I don't even want to say Fincher. I don't. I honestly don't think Fincher is this sophisticated. This is genuinely exploring um, like truly like the bad that is born of good people. But yeah, I'm like really kind of awestruck with where this film is going right now, and I'm like reeling thinking about the implications of it, and just saying like this is a strong recommend. I like almost don't want to continue on with this movie commentary, just thinking that it might spoil the experience for you if you've never seen this movie before. And this is the weird kind of culture that's developed around Tarkovsky. Like on the internet, there's like there's just this kind of like cult mentality of like in some weird ways Tarkovsky is a don't spoil director. It's like you have to find out yourself. We don't want to spoil it for you. And I'm realizing now the depths and the power of that kind of that feeling. I feel responsible for you as an audience to like you should go seek out his works on your own and see if they inspire anything in you. And I know this is just from watching one movie right now, but I'm like kind of like dumbstruck by how powerful it is right now. And I kind of want you to just if you're interested, you should go explore it on your own. And if you've already seen Solaris and you kind of just want to, or if you just want to continue down the rabbit hole, we can do that. But in a certain way, I feel like I'm spoiling like The Godfather for you, or I'm spoiling Of Mice and Men. Truly. Anyways, yeah, if you want to continue on with me, let's go.
Знаешь, я вот по какому поводу. Мы тут с Арториусом думали. Коль скоро океан извлекает гостей из нас во время сна, может быть, есть смысл передать ему наши дневные мысли?
Каким образом?
Пучком излучения. Может, он поймет тогда и избавит нас от всех этих появлений.
Опять эти дурацкие рентгеновские проповеди о величии науки?
Мы промодулируем этот пучок токами мозга кого-нибудь из нас.
И этот кто-то, конечно, я.
Рейс пора. Время уходит. Кстати, Сарториус предложил еще один проект. Аннигилятор. Уничтожаются только нейтринные системы.
It is funny to see how, despite this being, a massive artistic achievement, it also has some of the benchmarks of a standard Hollywood formula, including an artificial time limit, as established in the neutrino beam that Dr. Sartorius is cooking up. For all its failings, the cut of these European pants, or these Russian pants, sure knows how to shape men's butts.
Стой. Что с ней случилось?
Мы поссорились. В последнее время мы часто с ней ссорились. Я собрал вещи и ушел. Она дала мне...
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because...
Выглядеть, будто я принял ее слова всерьез. На третий день я все-таки не выдержал и отправился. Когда я пришел, она уже умерла. И на руке был след от укола.
Вот этот. А почему она это все-таки сделала?
Наверное, чувствовал, что я не любил ее по-настоящему. Тебя люблю.
До его границ. Мы не знаем, что делать с иными мирами. Нам не нужно других миров.
It's true.
Нужно зеркало.
That's true.
Мы бьемся над контактом и никогда не найдем
I think
его.
this is like
В
fundamentally the
глупом
lesson that
положении человека, рвущегося к
Nolan
цели,
misunderstood in constructing Interstellar.
которая ему не нужна. Человеку.
We were destined to die on Earth. We are destined for the stars.
Крис меня любит.
You're in serious chick sand.
Not a word.
I'm making it one.
Can't just make words.
It is. I submitted it to the dictionary.
You're back?
Almost.
You almost heard back?
Становлюсь человеком.
What a disgusting feeling this is. To feel yourself like integrating all of these complex and like toxic human emotions and just like going through our teenage years right now. I do like this way they're handling these intruding alien specimens in this movie in a way that's like similar to Alien, the character of Alien, in Alien's like gross mishandling of contact protocol. They aren't like engaging in the aliens in the same way as in your standard or First Contact films. Kind of refreshing, but also like in a standard Hollywood like space science or sci-fi narrative. If an alien gets on board, your first response is to kill it. So while this seems bizarre that they decide to have like psychology sessions with the alien, it actually to a certain degree alerts you to how novel and vital these kind of demilitarized approaches are, like with Arrival. Ooh, Arrival's also a good recent movie that grapples with philosophical themes that might seem larger than the regular skew of standard Hollywood films.
А может быть, высечем его розгами. Или лучше помолимся ему. Что случилось? Мне кажется, захлопнул.
I'm doing an impression of the alien in Annihilation.
Иди. Станция делает маневр. 17:00. Будет 30 секунд.
I know obviously Annihilation is not like a direct ripoff of Solaris. I do find it interesting to the degree that it is in absorbing very similar themes of despair and memory and interacting with alien life forms and like evolution or destruction of mankind. In a lot of ways, Annihilation presents like very similar narrative and themes to Solaris, and I actually wonder if it's like in some ways like more effective repackaging strictly for the generation it was born in. Like if you're too young or too uninterested to ever seek out Solaris and you only saw Annihilation, hypothetically, would that be a sufficient substitution? I might just be wrong though.
Ничего. Все в порядке.
For some reason, I think of this as a very Cocteau shot. The elimination of sound and the fixation on furnishings and slowness of movement. This just reminds me a lot of Beauty and the Beast, actually. This doesn't, but oh, this is so cool. Oh my god, I'm loving this. They floating. How? They floating. Yo. La La Land could never. I mean, this is really a fair assessment of kind of how painful relationships are. Relationships, on their front face, aren't painful, exactly. But if we take things to have a secret double, a reverse of of action and consequence, the risk of relationships, the fear and anxiety that you may lose out on it, that someday the people that you love and trust may betray you or die, which in its own weird psychological way is a betrayal of your trust. It's an irrational betrayal. It's not really a betrayal, but your mind perceives it as one. It leaves yourself at such a vulnerability that there's no greater anxiety than giving yourself over to another human being. Oh God. What happened? This is killing me. What is going on? Why did he kill her again? She killed herself again? In simulation of the way his wife killed herself with poison? She's frozen herself? Dude, this is wrecking my mind worse than that Claire Denis film. Like, how much can you, like, repeat a relationship or change it with it being the same thing?
Не могу привыкнуть ко всем этим воскрешениям.
I'm back, baby. Eesh. And this is like, I love how this is like amping up like the grotesqueness and like the visceral reality of this experience, like gradually with each like revival or renewal of the process of the cycle. Like at first it's treated in a very kind of like abstract way, like she died and then she returned, and with each death and resurrection, it becomes more real how this is an actual biological process that she has to undergo. And it's a fucking bummer, man. Yeah, this is an upsetting movie, and I only smile because this is such a wonderful artistic statement. It's like so definitive and raw that, like, as much as I'm like deeply horrified by it, I'm like absolutely in awe of the artistry. Oh no, she's doing the cross-eyed thing. He's just gonna watch his wife die over and over again for the hope that she will live for him. Ugh. That be humans. No, it's not you. It's still an alien pretending to be you.
Нет, это не я.
Yeah.
Я не вернусь на Землю.
This is a full-on abusive relationship. She's like, please stop doing this to me.
Мне страшно.
It's like beautifully subtle to watch how the dynamics in this relationship are changing, because they're essentially living out the same sequence of events, of her needing him and him succumbing to her and her dying, and they do it over and over again. But there are subtle shifts in the power dynamics within that, as to who is like the instigator, who is applying pressure to whom. Like in the first iteration, you can kind of see it as a manifestation of her mania and her need, and later ones it's a manifestation of his. This is like the fullest realization of 50 First Dates. And there's Tarkovsky's own breaking of the 180 rule. Kubrick saw that, he was like, I'm gonna use this I'm gonna use this in 8 years.
Here.
Oof, this soundscape. Oh, I love this. Oh man. There's so much being accomplished just with a light source. Just with a light source and the sound going nutso. Okay, we get the vases again for this home. How are you finding these shots, man? That's really cool. I gotta look over that again to figure out where the mirror and the camera's placed. And now this position of the bed is completely changed. Yeah, this is actually doing some The Shining shit more than 2001: Space Odyssey, where it's playing around with the geography of the scene a lot more. I guess they do that in 2001 too, with the who the fuck is that? With the inside of the monolith. It's just a surprise doggo. Dude, I'm going crazy with how many fucking clones there are. This is driving me insane. No, stop. This is too much. Stop. Don't do this. You are actually watching my own madness occur. This is just too unsettling for me. It's not like, and I don't know what it is. I'm not describing like a fear of clones so much as I'm describing like really psychologically unbalanced relationship.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's his mom. This is like a movie about like trash as much as anything. Just looking at all this trash piling up like cobwebs inside of our psyche, really off-putting. It's really disgusting. He's got a Marie Kondo his mind. He's got a full-on Yu-Gi-Oh mind. He's got a Tem hidden somewhere in his side, or Yami. This will give you a good idea that auteurs don't explore new ideas as much as we think they do. They explore like the same things as everything else, even something as simple as fucking Yu-Gi-Oh, in like really perceptive or insightful or just like dramatically arresting ways. This is taking a really simple idea of a guy who can't move on and like drawing it out in such an emotionally descriptive and horrifying way.
Foolish mortals, you have angered me! Ah!
Oh, I didn't do it. I just yelled for no reason.
Никого не обвиняй. Она сделала это ради тебя.
What if he's like on a fake Earth right now? And this is his dream now. That fire was the fire he started when he first left for Solaris. So is this a dream too? Oh my dudes. Oh my dudes. This is just somehow completely fucking with me. Oh my god. I mean, what can be said of Tarkovsky films that hasn't already been said? That was great. I mean, like, I can't really explain why that this like made me uneasy or frightened me in a way that like a general realistic drama poem. Well, like, once again, to compare directly to the works of Bresson, which are very literal, maybe not necessarily thematically, but in terms of subject, his movies are about people that like actually exist in the world and like actions and consequences of them. I'd love it's made easier to understand how horrifying the idea of like demons tormenting you is by having replicate, like by having endless clones of your dead wife than it is to have like, you know, Ibsen's ghosts or something. There aren't actually ghosts, Ibsen's ghosts. This was like a wonderful, like, there was a wonderful tension to this in doing this as a genre piece, is doing this in sci-fi. Like, Tarkovsky says that his aim is to like elevate the genre of sci-fi, and that's like noble and stuff, and I think he did it to a certain degree. Like he made sci-fi like psychologically full and legitimate. But I actually do think that the opposite tension happened as well, that the science fiction element managed to extract from Tarkovsky a need to literalize his ideas or manifest his ideas in really kind of absurd ways, make them manifest in these like kind of like horrific homunculus images and ideas, instead of like retreating back into some philosophical vagary about how like life is torture. Like having it spelled out in this Groundhog's Day kind of way actually makes it the audience feel it more directly. So I don't know. This is really wonderful. This has like inspired me to give a shot on Tarkovsky, give a more earnest shot at watching Tarkovsky stuff. It's also really cool to see like how influential this film obviously is. There's just a lot. It's like just suffused with like material that obviously inspired a lot of future filmmakers. But yeah, this is great. This is great. I'm rambling on and on. I don't know what to say. I'm like completely flabbergasted. I am flipped about my flibbertigibbet. I don't know what flibbertigibbet means. So now, flibber to gibbet. Flibber to gibbet. A frivolous, flighty, or excessively talkative person. I am being a flibber to gibbet right now. This was Solaris. I'm glad you came along with me on this journey and watched me just break down and just scream at a screen for a good 20 minutes. If you liked it, please like, subscribe, comment, and share with your friends and stuff. I'm really liking doing these things, and it's a good excuse to watch some great movies. And I hope this kind of does the same thing for you too. I really recommend taking the plunge and watching some of these if you're interested, because we're living in such. But I hope you check out Solaris if you haven't previously. It's definitely a recommendation on my list. Yeah, I don't know how to end this. Keep watching the stars. Call your mom. Don't live on an ocean planet island. Face your fears. Conquer your demons. Don't get wrapped up in a cycle of self-harm and abuse. Take care of yourselves. We'll get through this. Keep watching good films. See you later.
Well, it was nice meeting you.